All right, so today we're going to be looking at the affiliate program, which is basically a digital corporator program that allows people to be able to share and refer people to the Direction from God program, and as a result they could be in self-supporting ministry to be able to receive an income while being actively engaged in proclaiming Christ to others and sharing the Word of God with those around us. So it's a really awesome opportunity for those who want to serve God, but they also want to be able to have financial support so that they can be supported in the work that they're doing for the Lord. As this is a desire for many people. Basically, what we have for this is, I think one of the things that we can go to is, let's go to the website. What is the affiliate website? Is it just, do we have a pretty link for it?
I think we do. If we do have one, it's the Army of Youth.
thearmyofyouth.com/affiliate.
That's pretty free.
No,
No?
no, it's directionfromgod.com/affiliate.
Okay. It's not as pretty, but...
Direction from God.
So if we go to directionfromgod.com...
Oh, no.
Are you sure we got a link, brother?
We got it.
Didn't say you're going to make a funnel for it.
Yeah, we got a funnel for it, but we're talking about a link, not a funnel.
Okay, let me check what this is.
How does she get in the,
She has to join the audio channel.
how do you join her?
She has to click the audio channel. She just
Well,
selects
I
it.
don't see it.
You have to scroll.
It's not there. The virtual volunteers?
You don't see it?
Mm-hmm. It's got a lock on it.
Okay. That's because she doesn't have a virtual volunteer tag, but Carmen's busy right now. We'll have to do that in a moment.
Okay.
Thanks, Mom, for bringing that to our attention.
And are you in? Did you get in?
I'm still waiting to come up. Carry it out.
Good.
I will be.
Oh no, I don't see you.
It's because my
Oh, yeah.
She's
Oh.
waiting for, the
That's
computer to come out.
Yeah,
mine's slow like that, too.
directionfromgod.com/affiliate.
Okay.
I typed that in, I didn't see it.
Huh. I wonder why.
Do you want to share mine for the wiki?
Just goes to the home screen.
I look
I
right
see
here.
what happened.
And so when there's like a noise, I look over here to see
Okay.
what happened. Did somebody come?
Now it should work.
Or maybe they muted themselves or something.
Now it should work?
Yeah.
Jonathan Munder writes online with that. I don't understand why I'm not there.
It doesn't.
A caller needs to tag me in there. It's like inviting me. Oh, see? Do you know that was? Oh. Somebody missing? Somebody's missing.
You're missing one. You logged out.
How did I do that?
How do we spell affiliate?
It's right here.
Okay, thank you. L.
Here I am, you see it? I'll have a picture going right there.
Okay.
You know how I put the picture up there?
I.
So to use the camera? You click on video.
Thank you.
And it opens it up. Oh, I see you. Well, I see me. And then if we put it here, we'll see them.
Directionfromgod.com affiliate.
He's much better to look at. The affiliate, what is the affiliate, Nick?
Alright, how about we do onboarding and do affiliate later?
Okay.
So, if we can go to the System Hub, let's go to Notion and pull up the System Hub. Carmen made this really nice overview system. And type in overview. Go to the System Hub and type in overview.
Is this System Hub in Drive or is that in Notion?
That's a good question. Does anyone have the answer?
The system drive was in Notion, isn't it?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Go to Notion.
What are we putting in there?
Overview. We're going to overview. We're going to the onboarding overview. See it? Onboarding project overview. See Tina's there. Glad you can join us, Tina. We got 10 steps for onboarding new folks.
I think that's in Notion.
Is there anyone not there?
I'm not there.
I'm not there because my computer's still trying to load.
Okay.
Where's
And
Notion?
you're pulling it up on your phone then?
Trying to.
She's the
That's through Notion?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said Drive.
No, I didn't.
Do I need to find something here?
Yeah,
Oh,
hit
yeah,
Control
it's
P.
You need onboarding.
You just type in overview.
July Livecast project overview?
Onboarding overview. It's the one that says it's in the System Hub. So the July Livecast is in the project board. Do you see that, Theodora? Or it tells you what page it's in?
Overview.
Yeah, overview is good. You just gotta keep scrolling until you see it. But hold on, before you do that, don't click that. See where?
I didn't click this.
Is it a touchscreen?
I just had my finger on it.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
what do I need to do now?
I was just, you can click it, it's okay. Just click the onboarding system. So are we all there?
Almost, I'm at least
Oh,
up
yeah.
now.
Your computer's loading up.
Why is your computer loading? Are you there, Kathy?
No, and I'm gonna go get my computer, so I'll just not do this. I can't do it on my phone. I've been trying to do it on my phone.
Do you need help?
I can get the computer and do it, so I don't hold up anybody.
I'm sorry, you said you want to go to onboarding overview or onboarding what?
Yeah, overview.
Just overview, I got project overview, let's see. That's the other one.
That's right there, it's in the System Hub.
This one is it?
No.
Project?
Oh, those both
Those
look
are-
like they're going to the same place. Those are the same page, yeah.
Those are on
Either
the
one.
same page, project overview?
Yeah, they'll both get you there.
Okay.
Good. Right on. And Conrad's
I
up.
was thinking the project one would be something else. Okay. Project overview, okay. Can you give the rundown while they're pulling it up of exactly the overview that we're going to be looking at? Besides just the project overview, but the overall thing that we should glean from today?
Yes, definitely. So, we did that just before you came
Oh,
here,
sorry.
but we could do it again, no worries. The what we're doing is we're looking at the so there's different types of systems. There's like smaller systems, and there's like project overviews, and an overview system is showing the big picture of a specific project. And this project belongs to like a project manager, the one who's managing a team. They see the big overview of what needs to happen, and then they see where they're at on that process. So it's much like what we've got going for those who have been here for a while. We have the Livecast checklist, and all those checklists that help us to keep track of our part. And Kamran turned that into a project overview system for the Livecast. So here you call it whatever, whether it's Livecast or onboarding or whatever it is. And we're looking at the overview because for this our monthly action for this month, we are trying to get a grip on our onboarding process. Leah has just invited 6 people recruited to the Army of Youth, and none of them have been onboarded, none of them have been plugged in, none of them have received the training, none of them have...
We'll lose them.
yeah, so they're warm contacts and they grow colder every single day that we don't plug them in. And one of the best things to plug them into is when they first get started is they're getting started, because what that does is it's kind of just like they're, I don't know, it's
Getting
started checklist, because that helps to understand what is the Army of Youth, what are we about, what are we not about, who, like how they're able to help, and it kind of like inspires them and encourages them and casts a vision, and it helps give them the overall overview of what's taking place. And so this getting started checklist buys us time as onboarders, as a ministry, to help get them plugged in, to find their role, look at where they're at. And as they're going through this checklist, which everybody here has gone through the checklist, we've gone through different material on it, except for maybe Conrad or something. But it gives us some time where they're occupied, they're actively doing things. The key is, for onboarding, we want them to always be doing something, and that the ball's not in our court. They're not waiting on us. They're just going at their pace.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So the purpose of this Pioneer session is we want to look at where are we, what's our status for the onboarding process, where's our bottleneck, and how can we fix that. And we want to try to be aware of the needs of the different types of skills and responsibilities and things, and then find who can do what by when. Like who is able to do each part of the project overview. Does that answer your question, Diana? It's your hand.
Yes.
Okay, yes ma'am?
Do you think that whoever invites them, who gets them into the volunteered, should get them in the getting started checklist?
No. Getting access to the getting started checklist is probably the most technically difficult thing that we have on Notion. Mm-hmm. And right now, the only people who know how to do that is me and Kamran. I was doing all of them up to a point. I did it for all these people until Kamran helped with one of them, and like he didn't have any problem with it. But then we realized that was a really technical thing, and Kamran and I were the only people who knew. So then we started to work with Leah to do that. Did someone just unmute themselves? I should have this on. Hi, Tina. Did you want to say something?
I did Brumilda's, right? Is that what you guys are talking about, right?
We're talking about creating the project view. You created a project view for Brumilda?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Okay, good. So there's 3 people. Okay, this is good.
I think I've done 2 of them, but myself. But I never knew if they were successful. I mean, they got in, they did it because I came over here and checked it with you. But still, it was not something that flowed very smoothly.
Yes. I remember when you did that. It was not successful.
That wasn't? Okay.
No, but it was. But it is a very complicated task.
Is it possible to have a blank one, and, like a template, and just copy and duplicate it, and then you just plug their name in? Just
Conrad,
to start out
do
with?
That. We can create a view, a template view for a new project board. You know what I'm saying? Like have one of those that says like template, like new recruit template, and we can just hit duplicate instead of like adding it, changing the filter and the assignments. We'll just duplicate that and rename it. That'd be a lot easier.
And then would other people be able to plug them in?
But here's the thing, I don't know if it's that much easier to do that. There's nothing wrong with learning filters. The filters are incredible with Notion. Like the more people in the ministry that understand how to filter the databases and information on Notion, it'll just save so much.
Maybe in getting started, you could put the filter, teach them the filters.
No. People don't need to know it when they're just getting started. I'm talking about people that are are veteran workers and they're
like Theodora.
Like Theodora, the one she uses Notion, she gets more familiar with the basic blocks. We got to focus on the fundamentals, and once we've mastered that, then we're able to go through some of the more advanced stuff.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
sounds good.
I appreciate the suggestions. So it looks like we had 3 people, and we were training Leah how to do that because when people sign up with the enlist form, one of the first things is, oh man. So do you see number 1 right here? Like on the list? Could someone read to me what number 1 says?
Responding to in list form applications.
Yes. So the way we respond to them is that we just reach out. We read it. We read their application, and we reach out to them, and we start this process. We create one of these. This onboarding project overview. We go to the System Hub. We take this, what's right in front of us. We copy everything. We go to the project board, create a new project, and we paste it on there. For whoever is managing the onboarding system, we paste it onto our project board, and we put their name on there so that we're able to check off all these steps for that name, that person, that new recruit. And then we go through, and we don't have anyone assigned to do that yet. A lot of people right now, and it's just because we haven't, I'll say the System Hub and the project board are supposed to work where you find the checklist on the System Hub and you copy and paste it to the project board. That way you can actually mark things off. But the way that we have been doing it is they were either on the project board and we mark the stuff off, or we take it or we go to the System Hub, we find the checklist, we find the system, and we work off of there. We don't actually mark off when we're done. And that's not how we should be doing it.
Yeah. They'll mess it up.
Well, they don't mark it off. They'll mess them up because they can't actually keep track of what they did and what they didn't. So we need to copy and paste systems and put them onto our project board when we're working on stuff. And ultimately, a project manager, do you guys realize that each one of these is like a checklist? That like if you were to click, like go ahead and hold Control and click the conducting a discovery call. See what happens. Hold Control and conducting a discovery call. Carmen, you marked a bunch of these as new, no system on it, but really a lot of these are ready to use.
No, click right here on that blue right here.
Nothing happens
And
when
then
I
hold
do
down
it.
your Control.
You said nothing happens on yours?
You just said to go down to conducting the...
That's because it's opening a new tab and you don't see when they open the new tabs probably.
And then click.
You hold Control and you click that, do it again, see what happens.
Yours didn't work.
Yeah, you're opening a bunch of new tabs.
Here it's come out. It is 2 of them. It said come
Yep.
out.
Oh,
Oh yeah, come out. Yours is come out for sure. It says Control.
So when you feel like you click something and nothing happens, look at your tabs.
okay.
And Kathy, you got yours?
I have,
On a new
yeah,
window?
filter action. I do.
When you look at the tabs. What
Okay.
I mean,
tabs?
that's what happens when I hit the Control and
Filter
the.
action?
It says filter actions. It says delete, duplicate, turn.
No.
That's not what's supposed to
Where's your
happen.
scroll bar?
Because I hit Control.
No, you right click this. You want to left click it.
Okay, so I'll stop this. Get out of that.
You have to click on it.
Control and.
Wait, not Control. You have Command. It's Control for us, but you're on a Mac.
Oh, well, okay. Command
And hit conducting. No, not that. Hit conducting. Yeah. Because it's a
All
link.
that
You're selecting the link.
Got it.
And if
Okay.
you click on
Conducting.
that, that's even more.
So everybody's open it in a new window.
Yes.
All right. When you scroll down, scroll down to the standard operating procedure. Do you see the question where it says follow-up discovery phone call script?
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Good. So basically, the person who is conducting the discovery call, so the project manager realizes that, okay, let's deal with Bathsheba. Bathsheba is Leah's younger sister. So the project manager is looking at this overview system and saying we did step 1, step 2, step 3 is the call, discovery call. All right, so they click this, they grab all this, they copy this, and they paste it onto the project board of whoever is making the phone call. So the person making the phone call goes to their project board and they call up Bathsheba and they're asking these questions, and then they could literally put all the answers and information in here, where they're able to take notes as they're making the call. Yes.
Would it be easier to all of us, since everybody's having a hard time navigating to me like people were, would it not be easier to just all of us make a fictitious name right now and just to go through the basics of to just do a step-by-step walking through it so they learn how to cut and paste and what they're doing, or is that not really, that's not really what we're here for today. It's more of to just look at the system, how it's set up.
Yeah. I think that would be great if we're teaching the skills right now.
Gotcha. It's more of information. Okay.
Yeah, it's more to help them understand how to work, and a lot of people here are not really involved in onboarding.
Gotcha. So,
but the same principles apply to everything that we will be. Because this overview system.
So you're teaching us the procedure on how to look at the application of the framework, basically, of how these
project overview
systems are working. Right?
Yes.
So any department that you're in, we're just choosing right now the onboarding one to look at.
And we only have 2 right now, but we're going to have many of them.
Right.
Yes.
So you're teaching us how to navigate on this board so we can learn how to navigate whatever department we're in. You're teaching us how to navigate, how to do the clicking, where to go to, and then to read through the new pages that open up. It'll give us directions on how to handle what we're doing. Is that correct?
Yes, I appreciate you asking these clarifying questions. I'll say, and I'm really glad you grasped that picture of what we're doing. It's twofolds.
Okay.
So, what we are doing is we're looking at how we use an overview system,
Okay.
and how that applies to the kitchen, how that applies to what Carmen's doing, how that applies to book publishing, how it applies to onboarding calls, onboarding new people, students, or whatever our individual roles are in the ministry, even the prayers, when we get the prayer team going, and when we have the phone calls coming in and reception, like how we're following up with those people, it's all going to have an overview system, all these things. So this is a foundational concept. We learned it from Systemology. This is part of the process. So that's one objective.
Lost.
Nothing. What do you mean nothing gets
Nothing
lost?
falls through the cracks.
Oh yeah. Yes, the project manager makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. The first step was to make all these minute like systems and very detailed, detailing the entry level systems, and we got that. Now we got a lot of entry level systems, but they're all scattered, and people know their roles, and certain people know how to do them, but not one person. Well, it was just me, and now Diana was like managing all the people doing those specific things, so nothing falls through the cracks. So that's the first objective. See how it applies to every other role in the future, where we're going, and in our unique thing. This relates to everyone in here. We're going to be affected by this. And the second thing is, we're using this as an example because this is a real problem that we're facing right now. The bottleneck in our ministry is we got more people being recruited and not enough people being onboarded. And so another objective that I would like to do is with the people here to hopefully get some feedback to know who can do the steps. That if I could get some feedback from you guys or suggestions, who could do these steps, that would be great. But in order for you to understand who can do these, you have to understand just the basics of an overview system and how it works. And that's why we're looking at this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And we could split up the steps amongst more than one person, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The project manager is just the one looking at 1 through 9 or whatever, and the individuals are doing the different parts.
So in other words, if you join the onboarding team, when you see a line that's crossed through like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, then you know that's already taken care of. So I would think it would be fair to say that, say, if Leah was onboarding Josephina.
Let's say Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
That's her sister.
Okay. So if she's onboarding Bathsheba, say she gets down and she gets number 2 done. Well, a project manager should be able to look at it and say, oh, well, she's only been up to step 2. Oh my goodness. They could get a hold of Leah, which I don't know where we would say.
I just want to say real quick, everybody has in front of them the discovery call. So the examples you're using is like not what's on our screen.
Okay,
or
sorry.
on
Let me change
in our
that.
mind of things.
Okay.
So the reason why I went to the discovery call is because I wanted to show all of you guys, and I'd love to hear. I want to hear your comment once we get back to that. Now, why did I have you click on the discovery call? The reason I had you click that is so that you can see that every step is a link, and every step takes you to a system that's going to be done by one person. And what?
I'm not seeing it. I don't know where you're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on that, the standard operating, but how are you, when you're saying it links to something.
This onboarding checklist.
No, you said we're on this page.
Yes, but click this.
Yeah, that one does.
So
I
I'm
see all
saying
that.
all of these steps link to a system that's going to be done by someone else.
Okay, now I got that, but I thought when you said once we go over it, because we're on this page now,
Yes.
I thought you were saying that these all go to a system now.
No.
I can't find it.
No,
Okay.
I'm just backtracking
Gotcha.
because you're
Okay.
asking about overview and getting back. Yes?
Do when they answer these questions, do we put the answers
Yes.
down underneath there?
Yep.
Oh,
That's why they're toggled, so you can put the answer under there.
I see.
Anytime you got a form, you can actually, you want to put the answer under the toggle on Notion.
Good question.
We can't
Great
just
question.
send this to them and have them answer it.
No, this is a phone call.
Yeah, because this is our chance to get to know them, because they'll have other questions for us, or it actually helps us to hear and see how they're feeling. I mean, that's why it's important for the discovery call. One thing I was on about the discovery call that I'm not seeing, what's the procedure with this when this is completed by us? Where does this go?
Because remember, this is going to be completed while it's on a project board. So
On
you
our
would-
project board, okay?
So you would tag the project manager
Project manager.
and you would let them know, I finished this.
And how do you tag a person?
When you scroll up in the comment section.
Scroll up in the comments.
And then you put at in their name.
Yeah, you add a comment, you go at. and
Okay,
whoever.
and that's the comment section.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we're
And-
going over this because somebody else might have the same question I have too.
No, this is very
Okay,
good.
so
Questions are great.
that we would send that to the project manager and let her know. Chattel is done. I think you said Chattel. I can't remember. what you
Bathsheba?
said. Bathsheba.
Yeah.
It's complete.
Go right
Okay.
there.
Called Bathsheba, everything's good. Can you check it? We're
At.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and then not on the System Hub. We're on the System Hub, but on the project board, there is one of these properties at the very top where it says assign to, and you can assign your project manager, or your project manager would already be assigned. So anything that gets added on there, they're just looking it over. So they're just, everything's being done from the project board.
Gotcha. And what about after, when the project manager sees it's complete, that's when we need to make sure, where does it go from there? This information, she's going to read through it, hopefully, or he, whoever's in charge. They will read through this, get to know the person by what they're reading, the information that's just been sent to them. So then after that, where would this document be? So it has, because this has a lot of resources, it helps us to understand kind of the person's personality and kind of where to plug them in at. I mean, this is like a good resource. Where does this go, and how does it get used again so it doesn't just become a piece of information that's lost? Because this is a very important piece of document. It gives us a good...
Carmen, do you have any recommendation? Did you get a question?
It's okay. So when the project manager reads through this information on the discovery call itself has a lot of information that we should be able to use in many departments to get them plugged into the right department, but also helps us to understand who this person is, and it needs to be a document that's not lost. It could be, I don't know, posted on their project board, so that we can always know to go, because we can pull up each other's view. So we can always say, oh, well, what's this person's interest or whatever, and anybody can look at it any time, or should it go to a specific location such as project manager for that department, whatever it is, be it.
Oh,
for this
Carmen's
one.
got it. Genius. Thank you,
So
brother.
Here's my idea.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Don't we have a place where we do that?
Thank you both.
We have a directory of workers page.
Perfect. And so would it be posted onto there?
Yeah.
This page?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
How do you post it over there? How does a person move it over to them?
You just copy and paste this stuff.
Copy.
Copy and paste?
Paste.
Okay. I'm learning copy and paste. It's such a cool tool.
Or they might
Okay.
even be able to just move it over there and
That
put
is-
the page within the page.
So we're going to be doing 2 steps at once, which is really nice because once the project manager does it, it would be her job or his job, the project manager for this department, to make sure it gets on this list, their name and that. That would be, because that was one thing that you were saying you had to do all the time, is make sure it's updated. So now the onboarder will make sure that that is on there. And I think people have tried to make them, but it's kind of been, I've tried to make a couple myself, as you can see, but they're kind of like, I don't know what they are. But anyway, so that's good. So now that will automatically be updated, so you won't have to do that every time. Because the
That'd be
project
wonderful.
manager will, that's the part of the responsibility. Under, who's making what is it called? The descriptions, job descriptions for the department?
Jackie.
Jackie is. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Because that was something we should put underneath onboarding, is they would be responsible to update that board you were just on, whatever that was. Contact workers?
Directory of workers.
Directory of workers.
So that's our directory.
It needs to be
Yeah.
updated.
Okay, the directory of workers, we can send that to Jackie and let her know that when the, what? Is she project onboarding? I mean, she doing, okay, so no, she wouldn't need the information. We just need to make sure that that's
We don't
in the
have-
description. That needs to be in the description of the
project
onboarding
manager.
project
Yes,
manager.
absolutely.
That's
That's what
what
I
we-
was just thinking too.
So should we send that to her? How do we get that to her, to make sure that's on that, so we don't lose it? Because that needs to be something, because she won't know that. Somebody-
Carmen, are you able to make a note on the job descriptions chat?
Okay.
Oh, praise the Lord. Thank you, brother. We have a chat where we put all that stuff. Okay, cool.
Praise the Lord.
So,
Um,
no? Go ahead.
Do you want to tell them?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so the project onboarding manager, whatever you call it, their responsibility is to take the information from the discovery call and post it on that one you were just on,
Directory of workers.
directory of workers, and to always make sure it's updated with the new recruits.
Please need to repeat that.
Okay, no problem. So the onboarding.
Can you turn on your microphone and let her talk?
Oh yeah, I could do
That would be
Yeah, we're learning all kinds of things. Okay.
that. Hopefully.
You gonna hold it and do it? Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, you should hold it and just let her talk.
Okay.
It'd
Okay.
be easier for her.
However, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what we need to do for the onboarding project manager, it's their responsibility to make sure that when a new recruit has been recruited, to check that list and to transfer their information from the discovery call, conducting a discovery call. That needs to go on the,
AOI directory of workers.
okay, and
It's on Ocean.
it's on Notion. And then to make sure that all new recruits are put on there. That's the project manager's responsibility to maintain that page.
That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, that's perfect. That's just the way to go. So, can I get someone other than Diana to explain to me what was the purpose of me having to go to the conducting a discovery call? Yes?
We were going to the discovery call because to see how it's done and to be able to get those answered and put back onto the directory.
No. No. Those are all things that we did, but that's not why we went there.
Well, we went there to show everybody how it's done,
No. What
Use it.
is done?
how to use the how to use the
The
Notion.
overview system?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We went there to show that the overview system just has a list of a bunch of systems, and any of them you can click and get all the information. So that's why we went there. So you can exit out of the discovery call. We're not.
question.
Go ahead, Tina. Oh, hold
No, I
on.
was just gonna say,
Go ahead.
That makes a lot more sense. Now I understand exactly what an overview system is.
Thank you. Yes.
I guess I never really, like, I heard the term a lot and I know what you were saying, but it just never really clicked until you said that.
Yes, praise the Lord. And that's why I'm having this conversation, so all of us could understand there are different types of systems that I learned from Systemology. When he said that, it was like a light bulb just turned on. I was like, whoa, because an overview system is basically a system of systems. It's a high level system that shows you the big overview of a big project with a lot of moving parts. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because if you've ever saw this, what right here, what we're looking at, this replaced our helping a new recruit get started. Do you guys remember where it was like 1 through 10 steps? It said helping a new recruit get started, and you're like, where's the discovery call script? And you're like, oh, what step? There's so many steps here. There's so many checkboxes. It's like, where am I? Where did I leave off? It's like, that's overwhelming. And in the System Hub, the guy was saying that you don't want to have all that detail on one system. You just want an overview. This is very high level for the project manager to keep track of this stuff. And I'm like, that is genius. But at the time when we learned it, we weren't able to use that because we didn't have enough entry-level systems in place to be able to actually create it. But we're like, okay, that's the well, I was like, that's the vision, that's where we're going, and we're there. We're there now.
And then that arrow right there means that there's a link, right?
Yes. Are you trying to show me that?
I was trying to show you that arrow right there.
Well, but I know about the arrow.
No, I'm
Been at it
asking
for
you,
years.
is that what that means?
Oh.
There's a link right there.
Oh, okay. So you're asking a question. That's not
Not a link,
escape.
but it's a drop down.
Yeah. So you can delete. You can exit out of the discovery call. Get that off of your screen. Don't clutter up your desktop. I just had you open a new tab so it wouldn't distract you. Exit out of the discovery call. Now we should be looking at the onboarding overview checklist.
That's what I was
Are
showing.
we all there? I know. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So the overview system, just going back to the basics.
Yes.
The overview system, I'm trying to compartmentalize in my head. So
Okay.
would I say that when I see an overview system, I'm going to assume kind of like it's a department overview?
Maybe not a department overview. It's a project overview.
Okay.
So one department may have multiple projects that they're doing, but a project just is all the workers involved in that project.
Okay. So when you break it down, what comes below the overview? Because the overview, you said, is like the big picture. So then what would be the next one? Like, say, I always, because of the kind of work I do, I mean, project, I understand. We can have projects within a department.
Yes. Good.
Okay, so these would be the projects in that.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha.
Because you might have like a department director, and then the director is directing like some managers, and these managers are like project managers, and the managers are directing like team leaders who have like slides team, or they have the writing team, they got the graphics team, they got different video editing team, they got different team, and so the project manager is just making sure the teams are doing their part as it relates to this big project.
Okay.
So the Livecast project overview that we have for July, all that is an example of what we're talking about. It's the same thing.
Oh, I see.
There's two systems we have like this. We have the Livecast project overview, and then we have the onboarding, which is what we're looking at right now.
Okay, good. Okay. I see.
But we're going to have a lot of these, but right now we only have two.
Well, they're pretty big to build.
They are big to build, and for each one of these overview systems, we need a designated project manager. Or if our project managers start to get really proficient, they're able to juggle two of them at once. Then, but we have to do one really well, then move on to the next.
I agree.
So that's how we're doing that.
I like how
It is.
it hides everything
Yes.
except for what you're working on.
This is what you really
So
need,
nice.
and that's what
And-
Systemology taught us.
Yeah, and that's what you did with me the other day when we went back to my project board, because I had so much on my project board. It was like, oh, I don't even want to look at my project board. And so we went through everything that I had, and we put just on the to-do or whatever that one was.
Concentrate.
Yeah, we just put a few things on there. That way I didn't have to look at the whole board. I could just go in that area, do that. That's nice.
That's good.
That was really good.
You know, I think these tools, these little tiny tools that they're giving us, they're huge. They're just simple,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
man, does it change
Powerful.
Changed everything.
Yeah.
the whole table. Kim was saying that with what you shared with me. She's like, oh, I can't believe this. Because she sent me another note just before that. I didn't send that to you. But she was like, I cannot tell you thank you. She goes, I'm going to go back and put all of them under one. And she goes, and taking the picture of it, she goes, oh my goodness. She goes, and I'm going to start one just for me so I can just do my work stuff. And I don't have to listen to all the chatter.
Yeah.
You know? She said I can just go straight to there and not be lost.
Yeah, that's perfect.
He's with it too? Yeah.
Yes.
It changes everything.
good.
We don't have to
It's so true.
process so much.
Praise the Lord.
Wow.
So I just want to on that note, as we're so thankful for these little nuggets that we're getting, I want you to know many of these things I learned from courses. So by plugging into courses, there's no way I would have understood. But there's just one guy who just dedicated his life to teaching people, businesses, how to systemize what they do. And that's what he focuses on. He spends 8 hours a day for years just on systems and maximizing and how they could work. So when a guy like that creates a course for us, he takes all of his specialized knowledge and condenses it not just into information, but it's step by step by step. It's one of the most useful forms of just-in-time learning that we can have. And the more that we individually plug into some courses that will help us with our specific role of what we're doing, then these ahas, you guys are getting just trickles and the iceberg type thing. What I share with you is on the tip of the iceberg, but there's 15 times the mass down below because I'm studying the courses. And when you study courses too, you'll be able to get that mass and be able to share just a fraction of what you're learning. Yes?
Do we have on the hub, the system hub, a directory of going to those sections? Some people need time management, some people need tools with navigating, some people need messaging tools, blah, blah. And you already know the resource. You've been out there, you've seen it, because some person is trying to go out and find it. Some people are not good at finding stuff, and they will spend hours.
And it's a skill that we can learn.
Wasting time.
But you're right.
But if we have one that you sent to all of us on how to become a leader, you gave us links, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
and we were able to go through those. Is
Yeah.
there something like that on the System Hub? That if you're struggling with an area, we can just go to System Hub and say, I'm struggling with Messenger, and go on to Messenger, and it'll have videos for us to watch, so we don't chase it on the internet and wind up on the moon somewhere.
Yeah, just in the dark part of YouTube again, just following all those
because a lot of people
suggested
do that.
videos.
They get lost.
Then I'm looking at earthworms coming out during the rain.
A butterfly.
Yeah, I know, me too. Cameron and I have been talking about this
Okay.
and trying to figure out how are we able to organize all of the trainings that we have. So instead of that's my beef with social media, is that all social media is designed to pique your curiosity. The headlines are for your curiosity, and there's no step-by-step system for organizing this stuff. So what I love about courses and what we're offering in the Army of Youth is we are giving step-by-step, just-in-time information. This is your problem, this is your skill. You want to learn about public speaking, you want to learn about giving Bible readings, you want to learn about having a conversation and directing people to Christ, you want to learn about prayer, whatever the area of evangelism is that people need. It's step-by-step, like you were saying.
So we need that for in-house for navigation. Because
Yes.
that's the hold up with any new onboarder, any person that comes into the ministry is navigation tools. That's going to be what makes it fast for them. If we put that on the System Hub, underneath that, library, maybe under the word library, and then have subtitles of Messenger, and then put all the different ones of how to message and how to do it easier. I don't know. I know our play to school. Come on.
The thing about that, we're trying to figure out how to go about that. I think that's what support docs are called, maybe.
Oh, support docs, okay.
A lot of companies and websites, they have a support doc. It's a knowledge base.
Yeah.
We don't have a wiki like that links everything to each other, except Notion in a sense is, but to organize some of the stuff. It's something I've been praying about since 2016, trying to understand how can we provide this for people. And I haven't found the solution yet.
AppSumo has some.
It's not as
It's not as easy
simple
as I'm thinking it is.
no,
Okay.
because when you actually put it in place, it's just going to be as confusing as things I've been in the past. But
Sorry.
we can pray. I mean, that's something to pray for. It's something that we definitely want to help. I learned with the org chart, the person who does that is called talent development. They're in charge of putting together the training and the programs and also making them accessible for people to develop the talents and skills of the ministry. So
Well, then maybe we should have them working on that project.
Yes, it's part of HR. So we got to find the person in HR who has talent develop. They love developing talents of others and
Very
giving them what they need and putting programs together to do that. So I'm praying for it. It's on the prayer list.
Wow.
Which our org chart, well, just to let everybody know, our org chart, this is just another name for our prayer list. This is our dream team. People we're praying to work together with. So we got tomorrow's org chart. And the more that we look at it, like periodically, the more we're able to be like recenter. I'm telling you, every time that you look at it, like when there's like a month or 2 or 3 months that go by, when you look at it again, you're going to be like, oh, I see. I understand more of those terms. I see more of the direction we're going. I see more of like, oh, that's why we're doing what we're doing. Who fits where I fit, where I want to stay like my niche. And we're able to see much more clarity the more that we look at this and keep this ever before our minds. And it helps us to know who to recruit, what talent to look for as we're speaking to people. Yes?
I know, I looked at it the other day and I was like, wow, look at all that entails in like writing the book. Okay? And then I looked at it and I said, wow, look how much it entails to do another aspect that I do. And it's like, oh, all these things that I like, oh, maybe I'll just narrow down in this area, because you can't possibly do everything. But and it made me in my mind have to choose what really do I want to focus on and
I
do
think that
good
really
at that.
helps when anybody comes on board to look at the org chart, because even if Kathy sent that out like a once a week thing and just reminding people, please, and put prayer beside it, because you said it's a prayer list. And I'm thinking that would help people to pray, have something to pray about, and it would also really lets you see the big picture of the ministry, because it's really hard. I don't know if Theodora's have that problem, but when you're seeing this big thing, it's like, you're looking at a beast, not a beast, but you know what I'm talking about? It's huge, isn't it? And it can be overwhelming, but that breaks it down to like little departments, and it's simple. I mean, that is as simple as it gets, isn't it? Don't you think? Come on, I'm asking you. It opened my brain up. How about you, Deborah? Did it do that for you? Just seeing that big picture?
Yeah.
It just put everything there.
Perspective.
Simple. Just simple. Because if not, there's a lot of information for each one of those. And you don't know where to relate it in your brain, because you don't even know what that term is, that word. But that, if all of our newcomers could just see that picture, that would help them, I think. Anybody. The org chart.
And we have 2 org charts. We have
Today and yesterday?
yeah, well, not yesterday.
Not yesterday.
We have
today
today's
and tomorrow?
We have tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
And so tomorrow is larger. I wouldn't really send that out once a week, but
No.
I think today's is really helpful for new people, because when they join, they see who's who, and they at least learn names or at least what they're doing, and they may not understand what all the terminology, but they know who am I, where do I fit on this picture, and who am I working with, who's like my team, and then who are the people connected with my team, and then they help to make sense of what's going on. I think this is really good to be a part of the getting started checklist.
I agree, and it should go on their project board, because you know why?
Yeah, because this checklist does go on their project board.
Good, wonderful. Because I say, because when you get a lot of information, you don't know where to put it when they give it to you. It's like, and everybody's given it to you maybe 5 times, but where do you put it? They've not learned how to master that, so it's already on there for them. They're going to be able to, as they learn to navigate, they'll be able to come back to us like, oh, okay, I remember that, and it's still right here, and they didn't lose it somewhere in some kind of menagerie somewhere.
Hey, you want to learn a really helpful resource that Carmen just put together recently?
Yes. Good job, Conrad.
Yeah.
What resource did you put together, Carmen?
Was it the link?
Yeah, you knew.
Ooh.
Oh,
Is it a slash? I'm learning about slashes.
That's good.
Slash links.
yeah.
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
That means it'll give us a list of all kinds of crazy links.
Not crazy, but it's categorized links.
Wow.
They give you links so that
Oh
like
my.
like this and this is on there, our prayer list is on there,
Oh my goodness.
and then just some basic stuff. Things that if you ever like, where was that link at? If you just remember this is a link of links. Literally.
Thank you, Kamran.
Yeah, it's super helpful. I thought it'd be helpful for everyone. 'Cause now you don't have to remember, what was that /4? What was that?
Where was it at?
You're just like, go here, and then there's a big headline for this. These are things that you share with others. This is things that we have to offer. This is things internal use. This is some of our offers that we have, and then just right there.
That is amazing. That's almost like what we were talking about a minute ago that you said you wanted to develop this right there, just on links.
Yeah, kind of similar. Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, but wow.
Praise the Lord. Yeah.
Well, because you know the hardest thing for people to do, in my opinion, so far that I've run into, is trying to remember where things are at. Is it on the hub? Is it on the docs? Is it on the? I'm looking over here to try to even remember what the names of things are. There's so many places to go that a person on board, they would have a really hard time remembering where to go.
That's the key where new people are on board, we just simplify. The key is progressive education. Just give them a little bit at a time that they can implement. But the people who come here, it's like they just get full immersion in the culture and the language and terminology, and it's just like, whoa, I don't know what you guys are talking about yet, but you will. And like Theodore is like learning real quick, and she's picking up on things, seeing the vision, she's understanding more.
It's exciting.
So that's good. So if we're back on this
System onboarding.
Yes, this onboarding project overview system, what we see is that there's 10 steps now. This is really a rough sketch, a basic skeleton structure. It's not, remember how we created the live cast overview and you and I worked it for July and we made modifications, we changed here, we added this, we reordered that, and by doing it like that, we got a lot more clarity and we actually made something functional that works for us. We're going to have to do that for this too. Okay. As we go through and onboard with each of these 6 people, starting with 1 at a time, and really just making sure every step gets done, then we'll be able to improve this and change it, and we'll keep updating the system hub, the master copy, the master template. Because the biggest thing that we need to do here is go through it with say Bathsheba, and then we need to identify a person that could do each part. That's going to make a big difference. Because we don't have a person do. My name's on most of those, and then.
Well, I like conducting the discovery calls.
Yes.
We all know that. I love that.
Yes. So we could actually put your name on there right now, because that is your gift. And we want someone conducting the discovery call who can discern talents, who's strong at finding people's gifts, and is passionate about plugging them into the place that they need. And so that's totally you.
Yeah.
And
What about on just sending the welcome letter? What if the person that introduces them and then says, hey, they onboard them, because whoever you introduce them to, you send them to the onboarding. The simple process, like you said, is going to the Army of Youth / volunteer, right? Okay, sending them to that, and then send them. They could be, their responsibility would be to send them the welcome message. Thank you for joining the Army of Youth. Blah, 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 blah. Or does that come after they fill out the?
No, that's actually very interesting. That's interesting. So the purpose of the welcome message is to basically create an account on Notion. That's their purpose, is to be like, all right, first step, create an account on Notion, do this soon. But that would be good. Yeah, the person who enlisted them it'd be very easy for them to reach out to. You don't have to hunt them down on social media, try to add them, hope that they're not on Instagram because not everybody's there. And okay, that's good. I like that. I think for now, the purpose of this session was twofold. I think we got the first half, and the second half we made progress on. And the first half was to understand the basic overview of how this stuff makes sense, and I think we all improved. And I know there's some epiphanies. And then the second half was to find who could do this, and we'll get there. We'll keep going. So, but until then, just want to let everybody know where we're at here. Pray for Pray for our org chart for tomorrow's prayer list. Pray for the people in this overview, that we can find the right people. And pray for the precious souls that enlisted in the Army of Youth that want to use their talents for Christ.
And that we don't lose anybody.
Yeah.
Is it possible we could have Kathy with all of our main people that are on board right now, that she can send, in-house, that to encourage them if they're trying to find any links, that they can go to the armyofyouth.com/links. That would be a good thing to send out, like to Kim and to all the ones that are not here. I'm not sure who's all on here today, but that is a tool, a major tool that everybody can use. All the leaders need to be able to use that link. That's a really good tool.
This is a very good tool.
I'm
super excited
And
about it.
encourage them to save this link.
Yeah, if they could bookmark that one link,
Yes,
that
yes.
link has every other bookmark they would mostly want.
I don't mind sending it out, but I did try to type it in and I couldn't find it. So
thearmyofyouth.com/links.
I did. I just went there and it did not give it to me. So, but if Conrad could send me the link, I will definitely be happy to send it out.
Well, before he sends that to you, it's good for you to learn how to use the links.
I tried to.
That's okay. Just because you tried doesn't mean that you can't do it.
I went
So if
down
you,
with that. I went over here and did the Army of Youth.
yeah, but you can't put a space in a link. There are no spaces.
I did go back and take out the space. The Army of Links. There it sits. Because I just had it up there, and that's what it takes me to.
No. Go back.
Okay, but
No. You don't have to go back. Just type up there. Before you click it,
but
I have to see. No, you can type it right up there. It all goes to the same place.
it was the Army of Youth.
Go ahead and click up here. That's a Google search. This is different. So go ahead and type what you typed.
It's
So
this
you
one, that's
spelled
what I-
C-O-N. That's not con.
Okay,
That's
there
con.
you go. See,
I
there
spelled
you
it
go.
wrong too.
All right,
Don't
thank you.
don't click it. Yeah.
There's where my problem is.
You're spelling the links wrong. It has an S.
Okay. There are some disadvantages.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
And
But now we have it. Praise the
our
Lord.
weakness, Christ's strength is made perfect.
Amen.
So it's a underdog advantage.
Is there
I
an
did
advantage
get
to
you.
being an underdog?
Yeah,
I love
but you
this.
did get there.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm going to share it with Diana.
Praise the Lord. There you go.
You're getting there.
Praise ye.
You got it too, Mom?
What do you want me to get?
The links. Did you go there?
No, I didn't. The Army of Youth.com. Please.
Okay, so I can send that out to the
Yeah.
leaders.
And would you make sure note it to save to your what'd you call it? To your
Bookmark?
bookmark.
Bookmark.
Yeah. And put tool, so they know it's a good tool. Tools are good. The more likely to remember because this tool decided the words. I love this. Wow, I won't have to hunt no more or think. I'll just go for links. And I'll read through it. Wow. Be excited or what?
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, they definitely help. I'm gonna put this direction from God links down, after this. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm glad we got this. We made good progress, and hopefully this will be a blessing. I'm telling you, Carmen, we really appreciate what you're doing. You're like the glue that holds everything together here, and without your help, this all would be very difficult. Thank you for using your talents for Christ's service. Amen. Well, how about we close with a word of prayer? Dear Father in heaven, thank you for the privilege that we have to serve you and the opportunities to be able to see continued advancement, the growth in each of us individually and collectively. Father, we want to uplift the org charts for tomorrow and the different roles that are on there. Please help us to hear your voice and to be able to see what you're doing. Please give us wisdom beyond our natural ability to do our unique role and to find our place and to live our calling. Father, I pray that we can be in harmony with heaven. Take our efforts, sanctify, ennoble, and purify, and use them for your service. We give you permission to work in our lives in a way you otherwise couldn't if we did not ask. And so we pray for your Spirit. Take our hearts, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Ina?